the Ghana Revenue Authority has introduced an electronic app called Integrated Tax Application and Preparation System, ITAPS, that will help advance the quality of tax returns submitted by taxpayers. Speaking to International Trade Focus, Mr. Patrick Frimpong Danso from the Office of the Commissioner for Domestic Tax Revenue Division, Ghana Revenue Authority revealed that about 60% of small and medium enterprises in Ghana are unable to keep proper records of their businesses. He added that about 64% of the same group also lack the requisite skills to complete their tax returns. Mr. Frimpong Danso said it's against this background that the Ghana Revenue Authority introduced the electronic app ITAPS to assist small and medium enterprises on proper bookkeeping for proper returns and also to reduce the cost and time required by taxpayers to comply with tax laws. Mr. Frimpong Danso also explained that the ITAPS seeks to help improve Ghana's ranking on the Ease of Doing Business report.
The survey that was conducted quite recently, which soon they will publish it, 60% of SMEs, that is small and medium companies, they are not keeping proper records. And ITAPS is there to help them. Okay. And one of the things that we also find is that 64% of the same group, they don't have the skills to compute their tax return. So we see that ITAPS is something like a tool that we are giving to our taxpayers to enable them prepare their tax return and also keep proper records. And also to make it easier, there are some few things that I want to mention why we did ITAPS. Yeah. And the first thing is that we want to improve upon our ranking in ease of doing business. Ease of doing business is a World Bank report that is published every year, and they look at how a country is doing. And there are about 11 indicators. One of them is paying taxes. And under paying taxes, Ghana is ranking 116 out of 190 countries. And we want to make sure that with ITAPS we improve ease of doing business. If they say ease of doing business, how easy it is for our taxpayers to be able to do business with that. So that's one of the major things I want to do. The next one is we want to reduce the cost of compliance. How much does it cost the taxpayer just to comply with us? If a taxpayer is supposed to pay, submit a return, like it's PAYE, the taxpayer have to print hard copy, leave his or her office, and then submit to us manually. The time that it takes them to do all these things is time wasting and cost them money. We want to reduce the cost. They want to comply with our tax law, but it's costing them money. We want to do that. The other thing is record keeping. We want to make sure that we give them a tool that will enable this small business to keep proper records for the purposes of filing their tax return. The other thing is that we want to make sure that the quality of return that is submitted to us is good. GRA is not interested in imposing penalties. So ITAPS is there to solve their problem. If you submit your return and you underpay, the penalty, we use the law to penalize you. But with ITAPS, it will help you to make sure that all the calculations that you do on your taxes or your computation on your tax are correct. And that's what we call the ITAPS is what we call the business rule of GRA. So when you use ITAPS to prepare your return, it's going to be correct and you are not going to underpay or overpay. Therefore, you go into penalty and all those things. The other thing is the ITAPS is also what we call, is also a software or a system that is going to give us revenue assurance. Meaning that if you look at the withholding module, anytime the agent, which GRA has appointed to deduct tax on their behalf, take the money, GRA will see it. So at the end of the month, when they are coming to pay, we know how much they've collected on behalf of GRA. So we know that the revenue is assured, we know how much is coming in. And the other thing we also, ITAPS is going to do is that ITAPS want to make it convenient and simple for our taxpayers. And what ITAPS is going to do is that we are bringing our services to the doorstep of the taxpayer. That's what ITAPS is going to do.
Mr. Frimpong Danso took us through the intricacies of the phases of the ITAPS.
We have 3 phases of ITAPS. The phase 1, we deployed the phase 1 on 5th April 2019, this year. And that one, the phase 1 is for personal income tax. The phase 1 allows you as an individual or as an employee of GRA to go to ITAPS and then register on the portal. So, portal registration, you go to some requirement. Once you are done, you can use the ITAPS to prepare your personal income tax return, the annual, and submit. And if you have underpayment, you can also make payment online. So it allows you to do payment online too. That is the phase one. We have done with the phase one. Now the phase two, which we are looking at 1st November, we'll deploy it in 1st November, has got about 5. We are going to look at the tax clearance certificate. So from 1st November, what is going to happen is that when you apply for tax clearance certificate, you go to ITAPS online, you apply it, and you receive the TCC online. We are also going to see agent of withholding tax who are going to issue the tax credit certificate in phase 2, meaning that they will have ITAPS when they are paying them, and then it will deduct the amount, and then also ITAPS will send it to our trips, the local one that we are using internally, and credit the account of the taxpayer. The next one we're also going to see is exemption. The withholding exemption is also going to be done online. So with the phase 2, we are going to see all these things coming in. And then the phase 2 has got also the personal tax relief application. You can also apply tax relief online and receive your approval to online. So you're going to have that as a phase 2. With phase 3 is going to look at the record keeping, as I said, and it's going to look at the PAYE verification and uploading of your data. It's going to look at that one. We are also looking at coming out with and the record keeping, the one that I said for YAM phones, where you can send transactions to the ITAS through USSD by a YAM phone. That phone is not a smartphone. And also phase 3, we will also see what we call PAYE calculator. The PAYE calculator is just going to be like a calculator, whereas if somebody asks you that, if I earn income, let's say 5,000, what will be the tax that I will pay? The system is going to give you, that's going to come as a calculator. So that's how we structure the phases. The phase 3 will be done next year, 1st quarter next year. But as I said, the phase 2, we are looking at 1st November to deploy phase 2.
Mr. Frimpong also entreated the general public to take advantage of the ITAPS in order to ensure an efficient and accurate tax filing.
We want to appeal to the general public that they should take advantage of the ITAPS and use it. It's going to help them a lot. If you want to have access to the ITAPS right now, if you go to GRA, our website address is www.gra.gov.gh. When you go in there, you will see a top there they've written quick tools. When you click ITAPS, you start open the ITAPS for you, and it take you through the process to register onto the portal, and then you can have access to these services I said online. So for now, we have deployed only the PIT, the personal income tax. So if you have not done it, you can go there and then register on ITAPS now, so that you can also receive the services that are coming up in 1st November. So that it makes it easier for you. We want to make life very easy for you, and we want to make sure that you submit a quality return, and also we want to reduce your cost of compliance.